I have always been diametrically opposed to Final Cut Pro going to a subscription for a lot of obvious reasons. I bought Final Cut Pro as a one-time purchase with the understanding that that was the agreement I was getting into with Apple. Also, I think I speak for everyone on planet Earth when we're tired of subscriptions. I feel like we're just getting into this hellscape of indentured servitude where everything is a subscription and you never just pay anything off. You're just constantly paying for things. But also as a YouTuber, as someone who is always advocating for Final Cut Pro and talking about how great it is, this one-time purchase, and trying to really get people onto Final Cut Pro, the idea of it switching to a subscription has always felt like a slap in the face, to be honest with you. And I always thought it was kind of a bad idea for Apple. I thought it would be penny wise and pound foolish because at the end of the day, Apple's not really in the business of making money on their apps. They're really more in the business of making money by selling us their hard products, their gadgets, and making those gadgets desirable by providing us with really cool apps that only run on those gadgets. And so as someone who owns a small production company and has a small office full of people using Mac products, I always felt like, listen, if I'm going to have to pay for a subscription to Final Cut, then maybe I'll start looking at other subscriptions as options as well. Maybe I could switch to Premiere as a subscription and buy cheaper PCs for everyone in my office instead of Macs. So I never really thought it was a good idea for Apple either. And there's always been the argument that, well, yeah, if Final Cut itself generated more income for Apple, then maybe they would be doing more updates. We'd be getting more new features and it would actually make the app better. I've heard that argument and I never really agreed with that argument because while I can see that's true for Adobe because their whole business is software, not hardware, Apple's in a very unique position because they're really making their bread and butter off of hardware products like your Mac, your iPhone, obviously, and probably to a lesser extent the iPad, but still the iPad. So I just didn't think that a subscription for Final Cut Pro made sense. And when the Final Cut Pro iPad app came out and it was a subscription, I kind of was like, I don't know if I like where this is going, but the iPad app is so separate from the Mac app that I'm not going to worry about it too much at this point. So obviously when Apple announced the subscription of Creator Studio, my first reaction was, whoa, what are we doing? But Apple was very quick to say that Final Cut, Motion Compressor, and Pixelmator would still be available as a one-time purchase in the App Store, and they would still get unlimited feature updates for users who made those one-time purchases. The subscription offering was just an option for people. And I have to say that they have structured this whole thing in a way that somehow does not at all make me feel disrespected as someone who talks publicly a lot about Final Cut Pro, and obviously as someone who uses Final Cut Pro every single day. The Creator Studio bundle is a huge value. You're talking Final Cut, Motion Compressor, Pixelmator Pro, Logic, and Main Stage, plus like premium versions of Keynote, Pages, Numbers, and Freeform. I think I got them all. Did I get them all? For $12.99 a month is a steal. Actually, it's kind of a power move because I don't think any other company would be able to offer that much value for such a low price. And for Final Cut users, the only difference between the one-time purchase version and the subscription version is that you're going to get a bunch of new title templates, transitions, effects, and generators periodically dropped into your app. If you're a one-time purchase user, you won't get that new content. I like the idea of the new content because I do feel like title templates, over time start to get kind of stale, and it is nice to have fresh content. And if you're curious about what that content looks like, I made a dedicated video about that I will link to down below where I go through everything so you can see it all. And Apple has not explicitly said how often subscribers will be getting that new content. In the past, we've gotten new content in Final Cut like every time there's a big update. So really just a couple times a year. I don't know if that's still the plan going forward or if they want to be dropping in new content with more frequency. I honestly have no idea. And they have not said. They've been pretty tight-lipped about it. The other thing to know is that once you cancel your subscription, even if you went and bought the one-time purchase option, you will no longer have access to that content that came with the subscription. If you restart your subscription, it'll come back. So that's just something else that's really important for you to know. If you don't like a piece of content, you don't want to look at it, you can right-click it and remove it from your browser. And Apple was also very careful to say that this cloud depositing of content into your Final Cut library is a one-way path. They're not going to be poking around your libraries and looking at your video clips or anything like that. They were very, very specific about that. And obviously, the million-dollar question is whether it makes more sense to purchase these apps for a one-time fee in the App Store or to enroll in Creator Studio. And I think the answer really just depends on your personal needs. So I'm going to look at this from a lens of a person who makes video content. So from that whole bundle, the apps I really need to do my job are Final Cut, obviously, Motion, Compressor, and I'm going to throw Pixelmator Pro in there because Pixelmator integrates with Apple Motion and you can do a lot with those two together. So for me, those are the 4 apps that I really need out of this Creator Studio. Everything else is kind of a nice to have. So if I purchase those apps for a one-time fee, well, I have, it's $450 is the one-time purchase price if you got all 4 of those apps. And so with the $129 a year subscription price of Creator Studio, it would take about 3.5 years before it would cost you more to subscribe than if you had just purchased these apps as a one-off. So if you think you're in it for the long haul, I still think it makes the most sense to purchase everything from the one-time price. Now, not everyone can fork over $450 at once, and I totally understand that. And that's why I think Creator Studio is actually a very cool idea because it's gonna let people try apps they've never used, like Apple Motion and Pixelmator Pro, for a very low price and decide if they wanna continue using them. And really what I think is gonna happen is it's going to bring a lot more people to Final Cut Pro and the rest of the Pro apps from Apple. And I love that news because obviously as a YouTuber, I want more people using the apps I talk about, but also just in life, I would love to see more people using Final Cut Pro. They can see what we all love about it so much. One thing I am kind of catching a whiff of is that it sounds like the Final Cut Pro for iPad app will no longer be available as a standalone subscription in the App Store. It's only going to be available through the Creator Studio bundle. So something to know. Another thing I'd like to call out is the new Pixelmator Pro for iPad app is really good. I've had a chance to play around with it and I really like it. I can work on something on my Mac and then save it to the cloud and come back and open it up on my iPad and it looks just the same and all the functionalities there. So I do want to call that out. It's a really great first offering for an iPad app for Pixelmator Pro. I really like it a lot. So generally, and I'm surprised to be sitting here telling you this, but you know, a subscription Final Cut Pro version is not a complete disaster. I think they struck a really good balance of honoring the agreement that us one-time purchasers have had with Apple for a long time, and also a solution that brings so many more people to the platform because it's got a lower barrier to entry while also offering something a little extra with all this new content. I think it's a great solution, one that I never thought of on my own. So whoever built this whole setup, you know, kudos to you, kudos to Apple for doing it. And yeah, those are my thoughts on Creator Studio. If you want to know what else is new today in Final Cut Pro or Final Cut Pro for iPad, I have videos I'll link to down below. I've been working really hard on all these new videos. I've got some stuff here for you too. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Creator Studio. I'm dying to hear from you guys. I'll see you again.